Yep, we got everything. Yep. Got it all right. Everything is ready to go. Everything is ready to go. Vibe Show 97.9. What's the vibe? What's going on? Hope everybody is having a blessed day today. Because I'm having a blessed day. No doubt. We got an amazing guest that's going to be joining us on the show tonight. Hope y'all got y'all pen and papers ready, man, because this one right here is going to be full of gems and a lot of things to learn. Y'all keep it locked. Y'all already know how we do it. It's the Vibe Show 97.9.
Let's go. Let's go. New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting aside?
Yes, sir. Y'all already know it's the Vibe King, Kano the Don, and you are here with the Vibe Show 97.9. Got an exclusive coming to y'all live and direct for all of the people that's been waiting on this one. Guess what? It is here. We are here right now. I'm talking about right now. We have serial entrepreneur, philosopher, material artist, author. This guy is doing amazing things out here. I got my pen and paper ready to learn myself. I'm talking about the one and only Daniel Dipiazza in the building. What's up, baby?
Sir, thank you, Kano. I appreciate it.
Yo, man, you gotta let me get them frames, man. You gotta let me get them frames.
These are for people who are on the internet way too much and their eyes start to hurt. And these just help the light not be so harsh in your eyes.
Absolutely. Trust me. You already know. I know the vibes, man. Listen, my brother, man, it's definitely a blessing to have you on the show today. So for me and the team, I just want to just say thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to hang out with you for a little while.
It's my pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure.
So listen, man, I'm excited about this. I got a lot of people that's excited about this, that's been hitting my DMs. I've been getting emails and everything. Everybody is excited. And I'm excited about that because people want to learn and want to be in the know. So that right there alone is something to be really, really excited about. It's a very, very interesting the things that you're doing because you know, a lot of people tend to keep information with him. Things that you're doing, you're sharing this information, you're educating people. And I think that right there is a blessing. I would like to go back to the beginning of at the point where maybe you didn't have that knowledge. And what I would like to know where it started. If we could start at that point right there, and we'll bring them on up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best knowledge is always experiential. It's always learning from experiences. So for me, you know, when I graduated college, I kind of was at a crossroads where I thought I could do more school, and I could try that game where I try to get more and more a better job.
Right.
I can work for a company and try to move up in the world, try to move up in the ranks. And both of those, you know, they didn't really appeal to me because I always wanted to do my own thing.
Right.
But the reality of that situation was, you know, I was just stuck working regular 9-to-5 jobs, you know, just to support myself while I tried to figure out what it was, you know, which direction I was going to point my sail in. And over the years, I taught myself different types of entrepreneurship. Just like in the martial arts, I feel like there's almost different types of entrepreneurship and different types of businesses. The first thing I started with was like freelancing. You know, how can I take a skill that I already have, or how can I develop a skill and find people who need that service? So my first thing was I was teaching test prep, like SAT, ACT stuff, because that was something I was good at. And I learned how to get clients and how to find people who needed that. And I grew. And so over the years, I started writing about this stuff. I was doing blogs back before social media was even much of a thing.
Right.
And started teaching about this stuff. And I think what people have come to resonate with most is that when I do share my my ideas, the philosophies around business, I'm usually always rooted in a personal experience because people want to hear your story and they
Right.
want to understand it to help them learn better. And that has helped my teaching.
You know what? And it's interesting that you say that because that is true. People do resin more when you've went through the experience as opposed to going to seminars and
Right.
I think that people connect better from an experimental place. So I think that just doing research and digging into the things that you're blessing the world with, that's what drew me in because I felt the energy and felt like it came from an organic place, a place of experience. So I think that that's super dope. Now, taking those experiences and as we evolved into the millennium years and the social media phase in life, where it's elevating and going there where we have these platforms. What inspired you to want to take it to that level, even though there's a space there, but it can be intimidating as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think especially with social media, there's so much of it that comes down to um, consistency and timing. For me, the big platform that I experienced the most growth in a couple of years ago was Instagram, and that helped me to position myself. I think what's interesting about social media in general is that it's created a new form of currency because if you can grow a following of some sort, we have an understanding that an audience can create money.
Uh-huh.
So people will see someone with an audience and say, okay, that's the potential for money. And
Right.
so building an audience or building a personal brand is one of the ways that business in general has changed over the last 10 years as social media has evolved. As I got into Instagram and YouTube over the years, I was just doing it because, well, one, I thought it would be a good way to get my message out there, and two, because I thought that there could be some pretty good business potential to it, and I was right. Right around 2014, when I really started, 2013, 14, when I really started going hard on social media, the industry itself was also exploding.
Yeah.
So part of it is finding that industry that on its way up and just committing a lot of time to on its way up. The industry that is similar trajectory now would be like the crypto industry.
Right. Right.
Figuring out how to get in and be really consistent in that space while the space is already exploding by itself will help to position you where even a couple of years later, I'm still riding off of some of the energy from that ride.
Uh-huh. Let me ask you this, because even that phase in life could be scary, when you've been accustomed to something for so long, as far as currency and the way that you deal with money and handle money, and now it's going over to the crypto world, and everybody's talking about it, and everybody's a trader, and everybody's trying to, you know what I mean, everybody's putting your DM,
Yeah.
telling you this and telling you that, and it's like, oh, you're gonna miss the wave and all of this, and then you see things dive at points. I think the fear of it, and even me as well. I think it's the lack of knowledge in that
Yeah.
space, which makes
Yeah.
it kind of scary because they're like, oh yeah, you're seeing what they're doing. Oh yeah, I invested 100 and I turned it into 50,000, and all of these things or whatever. So many different outlets of people that's doing
Yeah.
it. How do you know
Yeah.
who to trust when it comes down to investing your money?
That's such a great question. And I mean, you see in multiple different, industries how it also just seems like, especially in our community too, Forex, MLMs, because, Black people are some of the most socially engaged groups.
Mhm.
So when the community catches on to something, it spreads real fast.
Right, right.
And I've seen that with all these different types of like get money quick schemes, and they all come in waves. Crypto is the new wave, but it is a real thing too.
Mhm.
Um, if you're just trusting somebody online and tell you what to do, it can be really scary because you don't know what they're talking about. If you were teaching me, rocket science, and I'd never even read the first thing about it, you could tell me anything and I would believe you. You
Right.
know, but it's really not rocket science. I think the main thing is first understand there is a change going on. So that's real. You are on your own to be able to have to educate yourself, but there's a lot of resources out there. I mean, there are great channels on YouTube where you can just watch people explain what is cryptocurrency, why is it important. I mean, there's all this information out there. You can't just listen to what someone says. You really have to do your own research. But when you do that, nobody can take that away from you, and you'll feel a lot more empowered to make decisions.
Yeah,
you know,
I definitely agree with you on that. Totally.
Then it's not scary because you'll have information that you can then use. You know, it's not that hard to like get a crypto wallet and to transfer money from one wallet to another and to buy some. It's pretty easy. If you can work PayPal, you can do that.
Yeah.
But people are really scared of something that's a whole new paradigm. Oh, we're not using dollars anymore. And so they want to rely on other people to tell them what to do. And that's when you get scammed. You have to educate yourself.
Absolutely. And, just like you mentioned, as things are evolving and changing, the hackers are evolving and changing and elevating as well. So, it's so many different things out there that you have to be cautious of,
the scams keep evolving.
Yeah. So, what's interesting though are the articles that you write up. You're an amazing writer, and the perspective that you're writing from is real direct and on point. And these articles are amazing. Anybody who hadn't tapped in need to definitely tap in, because it's always major gems that can be picked up. But when it comes down to educating people on having side hustles and stuff like that, because I do feel like, not knocking 9-to-5s or whatever, because making a living is imperative. But at the same time, you have to, I've learned from experience that you have to have multiple sources of income coming in order to reach a certain level of success. Can we talk about that angle, that because I noticed that you always push the envelope on educating people on the importance of having extra income coming in?
All you have to do is live in America to know that's true.
Right.
We have this idea of what it should be. Oh, well, you should just have a job, and your job provides for not only all your needs, but extra.
Right.
But then the reality of, and that your job will love you and be secure. That's the fantasy.
Right.
The reality is you don't always get your needs met. You still are going to want more and need more, and they don't give a shit. You know, usually, as a broad stroke. And, I was even talking to my wife in the car about this today, and it's like, federal minimum wage, they're constantly thinking about, are we going to raise it? What are we going to do about it?
Right.
And state minimum wages are gradually going up, but like it's $15 an hour. So even at $20 an hour, $25 an hour, it's not enough.
Right.
So you have to learn that it's okay to have multiple sources of income, even if you're not spending too much time on the side hustle. An extra $500 to $1,000 a month is life-changing money for a lot of Americans.
Right. Absolutely. It definitely is. Because with things changing, the world is changing. When COVID hit, a lot of people who thought that those jobs were going to last forever, lost those jobs, or those companies may have folded. Nobody could have been prepared for this rain coming through. Nobody could have been prepared for that. Can we talk about how it may have impacted you and the things that you done to maneuver through those tough times?
Well, I mean, I can tell you at the beginning of 2020, I had a whole grand plan for how I was going to do a speaking tour, and completely got canceled. And so it made me change what I how I was thinking about what types of businesses I even wanted to pursue, because it just completely changes what's possible. For a while, we couldn't even go outside our houses. So,
Next.
for me, I have a few different things I'm working on. Some of them are like a physical product business. So I have like an app, and we have books and all that type of stuff. And that was a business that actually grew because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
because e-commerce does pretty well when people are just inside. And
It,
we have a program too, where it's a couples workout program. So it's, these DVDs, couples workout, and that was actually helped because people were inside. But
mhm.
then on the other side of that, I'm doing consulting with other business owners, and I was losing consulting clients because their businesses were suffering, so they couldn't afford to pay me. So
Right.
one side is going up, the other side is going down. You know, that's the nature of a pandemic. And so that's why it's good to have a few different things that you're working on, so that if your main source is cut off, you don't immediately, die of thirst.
What was just like amazing to me, and it just blew my mind. Like
What?
the online courses,
Oh yeah.
you grossed a lot of bread, my brother,
Hmm. Hmm.
off of that. Um, with investing, being able to catch a wave like that, and with within doing something that you really really love, and making that type of income, how did that impact you mentally from that point?
I think that it at least helps to remove the nagging fear that you're you'll never be enough, to a
Right.
certain extent. Like, it does help. It does help. But on the flip side of that, once you attain a certain level of success, you create a new standard for yourself. And
Hmm.
sometimes it creates rigidity in your life, where you feel like you have to cling to the thing that got you the success. So you have to keep
Hmm.
doing
Right.
that. Having the money is great. But then also you realize too, there's no amount of money that you can make that you can't spend. Mostly, at
Right.
least I'm not at that point yet.
Right.
So, it showed me that you can make a lot of money on the internet pretty fast. And that can really change your standard for how you live. And then making money and keeping money are two very different things. And keeping money and growing that money is a third other thing. So there's just levels to it. There's levels
Right.
to it.
Yeah, because even with reaching some form of level of success, you still wasn't happy in that space. Um, that was interesting, as well, because on the outside looking in, one would think, like, what would he be? Got a successful businesses going. Um, can we talk about that, because a lot of people do suffer from that, but like I guess you wouldn't really understand if you hadn't reached that level of success at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it's always who you're comparing yourself to. It's like,
Mm.
and that's why you should only compare yourself to yourself.
Right.
But that's not really what we do. We
Right.
take people in our peer group, or not, maybe even not in our peer group, and we compare ourselves to, oh well, I made $1 million. Well, my friend made 10.
Hmm.
Or living outside of our means, or not being satisfied with what we have. It's
Right.
all really a matter of perception. And so yeah, I mean, and uh, the Dalai Lama said something interesting. He said something along the lines of, you know, the more money that you have, the more fear that you have of losing it. You feel more anxious that you have to keep it up, keep it going. You know.
Right. Do you think that, because I'm trying to figure out, like, what do you think we go wrong at, when it comes down to making the right decisions as far as managing money? Do you think that, um, and it's interesting because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who was talking about, the difference with cultures and races and stuff like that, the way
Yeah.
that the different races handle money and even view money at that, from that point as well.
Yep.
Why do you feel like, because some people be saying, well, we went without for so long and this, that, and the other, whatever, like, you know, why do we always feel like having the labels and having this and having all of these different name material things or whatever defines us in a way?
Well, that's a deep question. That's a deep question. I mean, I I think from the perspective of Black culture, it's because that entire community has had nothing for almost its entire existence in this country.
Right.
So it's a equal and opposite reaction to having nothing. It's that when you finally make something, you want to show everyone that you have it, or even if you don't have it, you want to flex like you have it, because it's a reaction to most generations of Black people growing up with pretty much nothing. I
Right.
mean, I was reading an article on Jeff Bezos, and he's the richest man in the world, depending on what day it is. And I just thought it was interesting that, like, yeah, he did start Amazon from the ground up, and they show pictures of him sleeping under his desk. Well, let's examine some facts. Before Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he was a successful trader on Wall Street, and his parents invested $250,000 in Amazon to get it running. We don't be having it like that. So, it creates a want for us to stunt, and then we're not taught about really how to utilize money at all. So
Right.
it's a big problem.
That is true. And would you say from an educational standpoint, because I feel like, going to college myself, I feel like from some instance, I feel like it's a lot of time being wasted. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like being taught
Yeah.
things that you are not really utilizing when you finally hit the real world. You got the essential tools that you need. Do you think that that is strategically in place to create a digression in a way? Because if it's all set for people to go to school, you go to college, to be successful, it's all based around that premise. But then at the end of the day, the most successful people, like, of course you went to college as well, but then at the end of the day, you are earning substantial income from routes that you have created within experience. And
Yeah.
most of our successful people, they're successful multimillionaires. They also have took that path as well. So, do you think that is a strategic thing? Um, Keep people at a certain mindset per
I
se.
don't know. It's a good point. I think that's definitely one way to look at it. That's I think the worst case scenario. I think what is most likely is that the system just moves very slow, and in this case, the university system is based on industrial era principles. The college system as it is now was basically the system that my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, he went to war to get into college, because at that time it had been only recently that middle class people could go to college, and
Right.
everyone knew that going to school was a ticket to a good paying job and a better quality of life.
Mhm.
As those ranks filled up and as college and university became normalized, the correlation between the quality of living and the amount of money you can make and your college degree still exists, but it's not as big as it used to be.
Right.
And it doesn't. Also, college is creating jobs with skills that are old for markets that don't really exist anymore. A lot
Fact.
of times, because things move so fast,
Right.
and academia moves slow,
Mhm.
slow, slow, slow. So there's a mismatch. And I'm not going to say that college isn't useful, you know. And even in my book, you know, I wrote college is dead for a few reasons. Maybe it is. I'm not going to say that I don't appreciate the experience, and I would still do it again. But you just need to know why you're there, and what your purpose is and what you're trying to accomplish out of it. A lot of people at 18 don't know that, and so it is a waste of time.
Right.
Maybe a better thing would be to get out of high school, start getting into the world a bit, and go when you know more of what you want, because there's no rush. You don't need to go at 18.
Right.
You
Right.
know, people,
And that's funny that you say
you
that,
know,
because like we were taught that, you know, that's all
right.
we heard, you know,
All we
and
heard.
not blaming our parents, because I mean that's what they were taught too. This is generations of success being based on going to college.
Yeah. Right away.
Look, you know, look at yourself. You know, you're a successful author. You know, you have successful businesses going. You're doing amazing things out here. And you know, I just try to, because now the thing that's being amplified now is everybody's showing, you know, how they're coming up offline, whether it's via crypto,
Right.
you know, being an artist, or being an Instagram influencer, or TikTok's on now, and you know, so it's really kind of derailing the millennials to go that way, because they're seeing success being glorified
Yeah.
via social media or whatever, which is kind of dropping the school rate in a way. But you know, these theories are proven. But again, social media can also be one big illusion as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, first of all, I hope there's plenty of people who want to still go to college. We still need doctors. We still need smart people doing technical things.
Facts.
So please go to college. You know, I got a friend, and it sounds boring as hell, but he's an engineer. You know what he does? He builds bridges. We need bridges. Please
Right.
keep building bridges. You know, I don't want to do that, but someone needs to be in school for a long time, because guess what? The only time I don't want the road to break is when I'm on a bridge.
I know,
I
right?
need it. You know, I got another friend who's been in school for like since I met him when we were kids. He's still in school. He's working on his third doctorate. But he's, you know, he has like 2 MDs now. We need people like him around solving complex problems. He's doing research and doing, you know, all like drug research, and like, okay, do that.
Right.
But also there's a whole generation of creatives who want to do stuff online. And my advice to you is, don't mistake the hype with fundamentals. You know, you can use these new platforms as vehicles to get attention, but the attention only lasts momentarily. What you're looking to do is to build something repeatable, and that you're going to have to learn business. Marketing is one part of business, but that's only the top piece. There's a lot of other things you have to learn. And if you want to keep the success, you know, whether it's OnlyFans or TikTok or, you know, crypto, you have to learn sound business fundamentals.
Right. Rich 20 something, 2017, the whole Inspiration, which got incredible reviews as well. I got to get my copy. I got to get that in the arsenal.
I'm out of my 20s now, man. It's old news.
Right. But you know, the impact that it had on people's lives, just the overall, I just want to know the overall vision for you wanting to actually put it in a written form, because you know, the most gems as we know, are hidden in books, and a lot of them are getting the millennials to actually read a book nowadays. It's like far in between. I mean, so
Yeah.
let's talk about your whole mental aspect from becoming an author and putting valuable information in a written form.
Well, you know, that's me, man. I'm a writer. I actually like it.
Right.
So for me, it was a no-brainer. You know, I think that everyone learns differently. A lot of people now learn with video. That's just how we've been conditioned to learn now. But I have an audiobook too, and I think that, you'd be surprised how many people will still buy a physical book and read it, because there's something about that analog format that we still appreciate. And I think it's weird when I think about, I think about all the places that the book has been, or all the places I've seen it sold. It's weird to think about that you can write something that was only in your head, but then someone else reads it in their mind in your own voice. Everyone's doing that all over the world. Shit's crazy, man, if you really think about it.
Right. And that's what's so remarkable about it. Not only that, but I do still appreciate having a physical book in my
Yeah.
hand, the cover, all of the work and detail that actually goes into just
Mm-hmm.
holding that book. So, I am still one to still appreciate having the physical copies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hell, I still appreciate my big book of CDs that I still have. I still value that, man. Like, I treasure that, and I still, I got all my covers, and I value.
Yeah.
I love the space that we're in right now with being able to reach millions of people at the push of a button. I miss that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can appreciate that. I mean,
Yeah.
but at the same time, though, I still do miss some of the old elements as well, too.
Yeah.
Going and purchasing that material, going and get that new book,
Oh yeah.
going to the book signing to get the book, going
Going to Blockbuster.
oh my God, not Blockbuster. Come on, man. I would
That's
be
an experience.
that. And with that being said, experience. Do you feel like the experiences are being taken away from us by creating more efficiency, which I know we have to evolve in the world? I get it. But I'm just saying, I was just having this discussion with a friend of mine too. We were talking about DoorDash and all these
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
ways to shop, and hey, you could just shop on. And I was like, well, what about? I like going shopping for Christmas and
Me
picking up
too.
things, and
Me too.
I like that. I like going to the grocery store.
Me too.
Now, when it's raining or the conditions are which could prevent that, then I know I have that option. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, do you feel like the experiences are being taken away? What are they going to do? We're going to go to amusement park virtually? Like, what's the next thing?
I mean, man, I could talk for a long time on this. First of all, when they automate cars, you're still going to want to drive. Sometimes you're
Facts.
going to miss driving. I got one of these. You know about Oculus, the VR goggles.
Yeah, yeah.
I got one of those. That shit is crazy. I mean, it. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't.
It's $300. Okay, first of all, so it's super cheap. You put this thing on, it transforms your entire house into a virtual world. And when I was playing the Star Wars game, and you can be on the ship, and it creates a barrier or a line in your house that you can't walk into anything that's in the way, so you won't trip. But it recreates the entire world. It's so realistic. You look up at your hand. For instance, I would look at my hand with the goggles on. It's like 6K resolution. I can see the wrinkles on the hand. I can see the texture of the glove. And, when I'm with the lightsaber, I can feel it radiate down my wrist as I'm interacting with physical objects.
Come on.
It's nuts. It's $300, okay? So here's what I think. I think virtual experiences are going to get more immersive. I know you're talking about DoorDash and stuff, which is also part of this, but I think virtual experiences are going to get more immersive. I think all these other services like DoorDash and Instacart, all these things that make it easier for us to not leave our house, I think those will continue, but that'll make the normal experiences more special. And I think businesses will start charging more for that. Like, to eat at the restaurant, oh no, we just send out the food. They'll be more like curated experiences. And this happens a lot with pricing strategy. When you condition an audience to see a certain price, and then you gradually over the years raise the price so that they don't notice the price is raising. But then you look back 10 years ago, you're like, hey, this oatmeal used to be $1.50, now it's $3.40. But psychologically, it just raises. So I think the same thing will happen with these physical experiences.
Yeah. Now, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I didn't think about it, like that. That would create a more special experience as well. Um, it's just it's so many different ways that we could go with that. We could talk about that for a while. You're intellectual. That's why we're talking about so many different things because I'm actually enjoying this.
I'm glad. Me too.
Let me ask you this: um, when we think about with being in you know the millennial, um, the experience is different for them with so much that's going on in the world because I felt like my era we had a little bit more freedom to run around a little bit more, and now you got to be a little bit more cautious because it's so much going on in the world. I just would like to get your perspective on the overall um, because I feel like everything is being intensified now. It's just on a whole nother level to the point to where it kind of creates fear to even go certain places. Just trying to guard your family and make sure that they're protected in different ways or whatever because things are so crazy nowadays.
I mean, yeah, that's you're not lying. It's you know, looking on the news feed, like every morning when I wake up, I look at like New York Times or CNN. It's not very happy news. I
Right.
mean, it's
No.
like 7 out of 10 articles are like major problems. You know, ransomware stole the pipeline in Texas. There's a pandemic. The country is broke. People are fighting. It's a very like not very good news pretty much every day.
Right.
Um, so there's a lot of good reasons to kind of contract and to get like hard and to not engage with the world, to be scared, and some of it is valid. Some of it's valid. Like I think that you do have to like I'll give you an example with the COVID vaccine. I was on the fence about whether I was going to get it. I was like, I don't know if I want to put this in my body. I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if it's the best thing for me.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I felt nervous about it, and part of me was really resistant. Other part said, okay, outside of the emotional element, let's look at the facts. What are the facts? COVID is a real disease that
Right.
has been spreading. I have several friends and clients who got sick with it and got really messed up to the point where they had to go to the hospital, to the point where even after they got over it, it resurged in them. So that gave me some personal one-on-one experience. I have like friends of friends who've died and parents who've died. So I'm like, okay, it definitely is happening, you know. And then for me, I think, okay, am I high risk? I'm gonna get to my point in a minute. Am I high risk?
Right.
And for me, I'm doing martial arts, man. I'm getting people dripping their sweat into my mouth, nasty stuff, getting punched, getting humped, getting shoulder checked, all this shit.
Right.
And so I'm high risk. I'm mixing with people in a very high risk way. So I'm like, okay, for me, I don't want to get the vaccine, but logically, there's a high chance of me getting it and or spreading it.
Right.
And I don't know for a fact that if I get COVID, that it won't really mess me up, because I've had friends and family who've gotten really messed up from it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to shut off the emotional brain. I'm going to just use the logical brain. And that was how I made the decision. I got the vaccine. That was how I made the decision. And that's how I'm looking at the world too. Like, there is a lot of crazy stuff. If you look at the news, there's a lot of reasons to be discouraged. But from the logical brain, sometimes the emotional brain flares up so much where it just deafens everything, and we get so
magic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we get so tossed by the emotion. You know about the pendulum, how the pendulum swings.
Yeah.
The emotion is a pendulum which swings us back and forth, and we can't find any solid footing, and we get so riled up about it. And so I try not to let that wave carry me, and I try to look at things from a more logical perspective when I'm dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, which is our news these days. It's all emotional.
Right. Right.
So that was a long-winded answer.
Oh no, man! Like, this is we have to be detailed with certain situations that we're talking about now. With running multiple businesses and stuff. When it comes down to balancing all of these different brands that you're managing, let's talk about time balancing as far as with delegating time for family and you know, you have a family. Let's talk about ways that you manage it.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I have a wife. We don't have kids yet, but that's, you know, hopefully in the future. And then, you know, obviously I have my family, my close friends. I try to make time for them. I think that there, you balance is kind of what you make it. You know, like if you were to watch, for instance, The Last Dance, like the Michael Jordan doc, you
Right.
know, Michael Jordan didn't have balance, and people
Right.
hated him for it. You know, like if you look at the quote, the greats, or even Steve Jobs, like no balance at all, and his family hated him. You
Right.
know, his coworkers hated him. But part of what made them great was the fact that they were all in on that one thing, and if you didn't want to get on the train with them, then you're out. You know,
Right.
there is a certain element of, if you want to be maximum successful, there is no balance. So I have a balance, and I think in that I've also accepted the fact that, like, I won't be able to go, I won't be able to give my all, or I won't be able to give every bit of my energy to my work. I can give my all to my work when I'm in it, but I can't expend all of my life force on the work. So I know I have to reserve some of my energy for family and friends. So that makes me more productive when I am working, because I realize that, you know, when I'm here to show up and get work done. So if I block out a certain amount of time for the day, let's say I have 4 to 5 hours to get work done, I'll really try as hard as I can in that time to be as productive as I can, because as you know, it's easy to say I'm working and I'm not really working. If you're
Right.
talking about balance, part of it is being as productive as you can when you're working, not just like, oh, I'll do an hour here and an hour there. And like, you know, I treat my work schedule at home like I were working at a job, and I'm very, very focused on it when I do it. And that helps me to have the time for family and friends and personal stuff, because when I am working, I'm totally on. Um, and then the next piece of it is, you know, over the years, like I have learned that it is better to have a streamlined focus, for sure.
Mhm.
You know, you can have a lot of projects running. I don't know how Elon Musk does it. He's an anomaly. That's his thing. I'm not going to compare myself to him. What I have learned is that I like to have one main thing, and then I like to have one lucrative side hustle and a few partnerships. The main thing is what I focus on, and I can put 80% of my energy into. Okay. The side hustle is something that is high return, high value, but low effort generally, you know.
Mhm.
So that
Mhm.
could, for me, that's like a service, a consulting or something. And then the partnerships would be other brands or people or you know, companies I can work with, where I can make some money and they can handle most of the risk or the marketing of it. And so that has allowed me to balance. So there are multiple streams, but I don't have the pressure of constantly doing all of them, you know.
Right, right. Let me ask you this. What are, and this was a fan question that was emailed in from Portland.
Ooh, nice. I'm in Portland.
What what are the six most profitable side hustles?
Well, you know, I made a video about this earlier in the year on YouTube. I mean, I can try to go through them. I don't memorize them by heart, but I will tell you this: like, if you're thinking side hustle, the best from my perspective, this is just my opinion. You know, if you're gonna do like a B2B side hustle, business to business, where you're helping a business with a service, uh, you should focus on industries that are on the way up. You
Right,
know, because if there are more people working in that industry, there are going to be more opportunities for you to get your side hustle on and to
right,
get clients in that space. So for me, what I know, because I'm directly in the industry, is e-commerce. Ever heard of Shopify? You know, this is a platform that's allowing regular people like you and I to say, I want to sell a product. I'm going to build a website and it's going to distribute that product. That's basically what it is. You know, 15 or 20 years ago, it would have cost us 100 grand to get a minimum order quantity of a DVD, you know, or some headphones or a water bottle. Now we can go on, you know, a site like Alibaba, find one that works for us, brand it with our own stuff for a few $100s, you know, and connect it to a website and ship it out.
right,
Lots of companies are being built on that basic premise now, that it's very cheap to start a physical business or even a digital business, you know. And within I'm pumping myself here, within SOS, right, we also have the app, you know. And so that's part of the digital business, and that's also, as you know, we talked about courses. Those have all become huge. And so So yeah, I mean, those are the things that are big right now. So I would focus my side hustle in an area that helps those businesses. Who are those? What would those side hustles be? Well, web design. Building websites. You can specify on Shopify. You can specify on WordPress. You can specify on Wix. These are all platforms that you can build websites on. Other side hustles. Programmer, developer, API coders, people who can work with apps to help apps communicate with each other.
Right.
Important. Designers, graphic designers, brand designers, people who can do copywriting, which is just sales copy, sales writing, people who can do Facebook or PPC advertisement or ad buying. Can you run an ad? People who can do video marketing or video editing, or video production, because all of our content now that we're watching is all visual. So these are skill sets inside of an industry like e-commerce that, since that industry is rising, there's a demand for those skill sets. And then where would you go to market yourself? Well, the first thing is you want to actually have developed your skill set to a point where you feel like you can help someone complete a project.
Right.
And then what you would do is you would go on a site like maybe Upwork. And Upwork is a freelance marketplace. And people are listing, hey, I need this job here. And you start pitching your stuff. And it's not easy in the beginning, but you learn. You can do things like, for instance, you can do a video pitch where you leave a short YouTube video for people to see, so that they can get a feel for your personality, so that you can sell yourself a bit better. But you can start to generate a system of getting referrals on a platform like that, or they have other platforms too. And then you start to get word of mouth referrals after clients start having success and they start getting happy. And over time, you build a client base, and then you expand.
Right. Definitely. What would you say has been the worst experience for you with getting into the independent space, as far as traveling down that independent path? What has been the worst experience that you can share? Because it's not always peaches and cream when you are traveling down that independent business path.
As an entrepreneur, what's been my worst experience? I'm living it right now, baby. I'm still in it. Look, yeah, I'm happy to do these interviews and I love them, and all this stuff is true. Like, all this has happened, but I'm working on strength and seduction right now, and it's as hard out there just because I have experience as it would be, regardless. It's hard. Elon Musk said something funny. He's like, being an entrepreneur or starting a business is like staring into an abyss and chewing glass. And eventually you stop staring, but you have to keep chewing. Right. It's just like, it's constant every day. It's like Groundhog Day. It's like you wake up, you're like, oh, I'm doing this again. And you have to constantly be striking. I think the most annoying part of it, and the worst experience, has been having to have the big vision and then having to bring it back to reality and break it down into little steps and realize how long it takes. So that's why I say I'm still in it. Like, all of it takes so long. Like just to make things start to move, just to get momentum is so challenging. And then once you get momentum, you have to keep it. The universe left alone moves towards entropy. It means it's falling apart. So constantly it's addressing issues. It's constantly, if you got an app, great. Now you have app problems. Right. It's like, you're making money, great. Now you have bigger bills. So it's like, it's the constant almost monotony of it that I think can be the most aggravating part of entrepreneurship. But then it's like, well, a job is monotonous. At least you're doing something for yourself.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree with you. And let's put, for anybody that's trying to acquire the book, trying to get connected with you, trying to get consultation, trying to connect with you in some type of way. Let's put those social platforms and sources and ways that people can actually get connected and plugged into all these resources that you have available.
Well, the best way is to go to alphamentorship.com. That's my mentorship site where I put out new articles, things I'm thinking about, things I'm working on to keep you updated. So you can sign up for my newsletter there, mentorship.com. And then on the socials at Daniel Dipiazza. I'm actually not even on social that much these days, but I do check my DMs a few times a week. So if you want to get at me, feel free to reach out and I always respond.
Yeah, we definitely know you're not on there, man, like that.
I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, but my people was getting a little worried there. They was like,
"Don't be worried." No, I've already done it. I won the race. I've already done social media. What else do you want? You want me to say more stuff? You know, I'm working on the business. It's like, how can I be on there all the time and working?
Right.
On the business, right. I have to be. What do you want? Hello, guys. It's 5 o'clock. I'm eating my cereal. You know, I'm up. Are you up? You know, I don't need to remind you.
You know, with that being said, how valuable is doing all of that? Because, you know, we see it all the time. Matter of fact, we see it all day. You know, everybody's posting every aspect of every angle of everything that's going on in the course of their life. How effective is that strategy from your professional opinion?
Well, it's hard for me to knock social media as a whole because I've really benefited a lot from it, as you know. So I could shit on it all day, but like at the end of the day, it's really helped my life, and I can now see the downside of it. Personally, I think most people don't care about those mundane everyday things. We are the ones that are most interested in our own social media. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I do my stories, I'm the one that looks at my stuff the most. Absolutely. So it's just like I'm like a monkey distracting itself. Like no one really cares that I am drinking Health Aid kombucha right now. They don't care to see a minimalist shot on my desk. They don't care that I have an MLK action figure. No one cares. No one cares. You know, it would be better if I waited 6 months and say, hey, sorry, I've been away. I've been working, but we launched an app. We put out a book, and now this is available. Thanks. See you next time. That would, I feel like, be more impactful than like, even me doing quotes. You know, I post as a philosopher online, and I have some nice things to say, but it's just like, who cares if I'm saying these nice words? Just go out and live them. You know, go out and live them. Oh, the philosophy. So much of the philosophy, like get into the world and doing the work, and that I think is show it, be it, don't talk it. You know, be it.
Everybody's a philosopher now. Everybody, and I think the whole vibe is cool. And in a way, you know, because I used to do that. I was fully dedicated to, posting inspirational quotes, doing inspirational videos. And then I just seen this wave come through of everybody doing it. And I was just like, I gotta.
What are we doing here, guys? We just jacking each other off here. Like, are we doing the work? You know? Yeah.
I'm like you. I like to when I do. I like to post something that's meaningful and that's impactful to the brand and what I'm doing, or something that could possibly impact somebody. Because getting DMs from people saying, "Hey, thank you. This was something that I really needed for today." Those are the things that kind of mean the most to me when I see that. But like you said, though, like. Who cares that you're at this restaurant and you're getting the best detailed picture of the leaf of the...
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Unless you're a photographer. I have some photographer friends, and they take pictures just because they like taking pictures, and people want to see just their pictures.
Right.
But for a normal person, and I'm not even like, I'm like okay looking. So it's not like, it's like, what am I? No one wants... And I'll tell you this, when I post my own face on my profile, people love the quotes. When I post my own face, the engagement goes down by like 80%. Y'all don't want to see my face.
No lie. It's almost like you can't even display that it's your brand. You get way more. It's weird. It's a real weird thing. I noticed that myself. It's really, really weird. They're like, that's it. Man,
a really nice picture. Really nice picture.
Right. Super dope. And it's like
discouraging. Y'all just want me for my quotes?
Yeah.
No, I'm out of here.
Right.
I just squatted 300 pounds, and that's all you can say?
Exactly.
Something
that you're proud of, and you wanted to share that happiness, and they just like 15 views.
I'm out of here. Yeah. Me and my dog. You don't like that? You want to hear something inspirational? Fine. But, I did that for like 5 years. I hope you got a lot out of it. Next.
Right. What's the next thing?
Next.
Let me ask you this, man. What can we look forward to? I mean, what do we have? What do we have cooking up, man? What can we look forward to?
Oh, well, uh, currently the elephant that I'm eating right now is building the black beach body. Y'all know Beachbody, P90X, Insanity from back in the day. We're redoing that.
Oh,
We're
wow.
revamping it. I mean, basically, what we decided was that you know, we wanted to build the first black fitness media brand, and we're doing that with Strength of Seduction, which is a couples workout platform. So we have lots of different programs for not just burning calories, but also building intimacy. We also have like couples relationship, like advice content on there as well. And it's just a place for people to come to the app and get healthier and to get happier together. But we are in the fitness industry and we're gunning hard. So we're working on building up this entire platform now, and that's what I'm focused on for the next couple of years. That's where I'm at.
Okay, so I'm hoping that as soon as you guys get the launch and everything together or whatever, we could collaborate on you
Oh, we
know
launched. We launched. We did. We launched January of last year. This year
so the app is already out.
yeah, the app's
Oh
already
my
out.
God.
We got about 20,000 customers so far. We crossed the $1 million threshold. We're out of here, buddy. We're going.
Come on.
We're going. This ain't a joke.
Yo, this
Sold a
is
lot of DVDs.
wow. Okay. So and that would be one of the can you hold the DVD up?
Well, here's what I'll show you. This is the one we started with last year. I made this. Now, this looks like a softcore porn. Sorry.
Right.
But I made this in Canva. Now, this is what it looks like now. So you can see product evolution there.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, it looks like the Avengers, the Black Avengers.
Yes.
Uh,
Now we can get that in a
on
in the
Amazon.
yeah on okay we can get it on Amazon. So it is
Mhm.
the physical disc or it's
We got both. We got them. So in the App Store, we have unlimited. We have all these different workouts. On Amazon, we have a few of our best. You know,
okay.
a few of our best. The
Wow.
number one couples workout.
Come on now. Now listen, okay, let's put that information out there again because I want people to be able to get plugged in to be able to go and plug into this whole movement that you guys have going on because that is important. And then the thing that's super dope about it too is the couples part of it because that's definitely a need right now because I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
people are just all over the place right now, just
Oh yeah.
everybody right now.
Oh yeah. Look, you can just Google us, Strength of Seduction, SOS. You can Google us. There, you'll find all our social handles. You'll find our website. You'll find our Amazon, and you can look at all the stuff we're doing. Like I said, we just dropped this new book as well, hardcover book. This is all about
That's dope right
the
there.
modern couple's guide to building intimacy through fitness. Wouldn't that be great to burn some calories and build some intimacy with Bay? Of course it would be.
Yeah, that's
Right
dope.
now.
That's
So
dope.
anyway,
And that's
marketing rant
available
over.
right now. We can
It's
get
available
that
right now. We're
perfect.
printing them out. We got 1,000 in the clip, ready to fire.
Perfect, man. Daniel, listen, man, listen, you gotta come back on here again.
Yes,
You gotta
yes,
come back on here again.
yes.
I definitely, Joe. We got so many different things that
I
we
could
can
go
talk
deeper on
about.
this stuff, man. I could go. This is gonna be a 3-hour Joe Rogan if you let me. We can go
Listen,
super deep.
that's why I'm saying that I'm getting flagged over here.
Yep, that's okay.
We gotta come back on here because we got so many different other things that we can talk to. Maybe we can open up the phone lines next time and get some callers to call in or
Yep.
whatever, and they can actually talk with you and ask you different relationship questions and all
Oh
different type of questions.
no, God, just business stuff. Don't ask me any relationship questions. My wife and I've been together 8 or 11 years, and she's the guru, not me. I don't want any relationship.
I'm talking to the wrong person then. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no.
get an interview request in for wifey to get on there to get these
She has all the
relationships
answers.
Listen, man. From let's put the social platforms out there one more time. For the slow people that's not paying attention, but paying attention. You know how they are.
Look, just check. You know what? Don't even bother spelling my last name. Just go to Strength of Seduction. Okay, that's really what I'm working on right now. You want to see what what's new in my life, that's all I care about. Strength of Seduction, at Strength of Seduction. You can follow me too, Daniel Dipiazza. You can Google me, you can search me. And I got all different hairstyles, so don't get confused. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's bald, sometimes it's braids, sometimes it's poof.
But it's you.
It's still me, you know? It's still, so don't get confused. You know, if you watch on YouTube, and I'm not going through any psychological crisis, it's just, you know, I'm fine.
Right. Man, listen, for me and the Vibe team, I want to thank you again for this amazing opportunity, and we wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now, man, and everything you're doing in the future. You want to give some shout outs real quick before we get out of here to your team, family, staff?
Yep. Well, I mean, look, I'll give a shout out to my team, Ike, who helped set this up, and then also
Morgan, man.
Yeah. Oh, you know, and his brother is my co-founder, Micah Morgan.
Michael Morgan, shout out to Big Mike.
Yeah, and our partner Dane, and the three of us, the three desperados. So I appreciate y'all, and let's keep it going.
You sure you don't want to shout wifey out, man, before we get out of here?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, I'm just trying. I'm trying to save you.
She'll never hear this interview.
Man, listen, I love you, my brother. Man, continue to be
love.
safe. Much more success, and we can't wait to get you back on here again. It's the Vibe Show with the one and only Daniel Dipiazza, man. We love you, my brother. Be safe, man.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody that was on the live that showed my special guest. So much love. All of the listeners out there, man. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to Valerie Barber. Shout out to Nicer. Shout out to GS Music and everybody else who was on the live showing my special guest. So much love, and all of our listeners out there as well. You guys continue to be safe. We love y'all. If you are not following my guy, you need to make sure that you get tapped in on Instagram at Daniel Dipiazza right there. It's on the lower third. Scrolling at the bottom, y'all make sure y'all get tapped in. Make sure that you guys Google the information that's necessary. Matter of fact, on the page, you got everything on your IG as well. So if you guys scroll over there, if it's more easier for you, you can go over there and you can get plugged in to all the amazing things that he has going on as well. It's the Vibe Show. If you are not following the Vibe Show, y'all make sure y'all get tapped in. It's at the Vibe Show 97.9 FM. Also, visit our radio station website. You go and check us out, man. We got music playing 24/7. We got all types of amazing updates and different things going on. So you guys make sure you get tapped in to the Vibe. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. I'm Kano the Don, the Vibe King. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Me and Daniel, we out of here. Peace.
Let's go. Let's go. New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me, should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting?